We've known for a while that those with proficiency in playing a musical instrument exhibit superior brain plasticity. That is, their brain can change and adapt as a result of experience. However, we recently investigated the distinction specifically between drummers and non-musical people and found that their motor skills are far superior too. In observations made through brain scans, we were able to determine that their frontal part of the brain, responsible for motor planning, is quicker at processing information than in non-musicians, and that drummers are more efficient at certain things, like using both hands simultaneously.
We use skeletal muscles to move. They're attached to our bones, and when they slide together, they pull our bones in different directions, which allows us to make all sorts of movements like walking, jumping, bending, smiling, and even blinking. If you don't use a group of muscles for a period of time, they can become weaker. So to avoid this, you should exercise regularly. By exercising at a level that you find difficult, you strengthen your muscles. When you work hard like this, muscles are slightly damaged, and then they repair and rebuild, becoming stronger.
Your tutor says you're rather quiet during tutorials.
Yes, I don't always feel confident about speaking in front of other students. I do all the reading for preparation, but there's a lot of it and sometimes there are things I don't understand.
Well, part of the purpose of a tutorial is to clarify anything you didn't understand in the reading, so you shouldn't feel embarrassed about asking questions. And if the reading load seems quite heavy, you can always ask the tutor what the real priorities are.
It's relatively easy to envisage what you'll be doing next week, but imagining a more distant future can be challenging because it feels so abstract. We tend to fall back on memories of the past to construct our visions of the future, but it's harder to guess which past memories will prove pertinent in making sense of things that are more distant. Research suggests that people who plan for failure are best equipped when problems arise. To do that, though, we need to picture ourselves in the distant future and predict what specific obstacles we may confront.
Scientists believe they may have discovered the smallest dinosaur remains ever found. Working in Myanmar in Asia, they uncovered a tiny 7mm long skull. Their find is thought to be fully grown, and experts estimate it to be around 99 million years old. Both a bird and a dinosaur, the skull is about the same size as the world's current smallest bird, the bee hummingbird. Although the skull is similar to modern birds, there is evidence that it had up to 23 teeth, making it very different to birds we know.
Online exercise is not a new phenomenon, but how effective is it? Well, the technology is developing all the time and becoming more interactive. One example is a program that ballet dancers are using. They're able to see themselves on screen as though in a full-length mirror. The instructor is also evident as a visible yet indistinct figure. Those who pay more have a digital version of a two-way mirror enabling their instructor to see them in order to receive bespoke feedback. So, getting what you pay for is undoubtedly true here.
So, looking at the product life cycle, a product reaches maturity following the growth stage. This can be a daunting time for manufacturers who want to extend the life of the product and prevent a subsequent downward curve. But how to increase the appeal while retaining the product's identity can be a conundrum. If we look at confectionery, there have been attempts to reinvent types of chocolate, going from a bar to individual pieces, for example. Varying the flavour is another common strategy. Here are some examples of this.
The haiku, one of the briefest forms of poetry that hails from Japan. We'll come on to specific examples, but first you may have the misconception that the haiku is governed by strict rules that need to be adhered to. Actually, there is more flexibility, less constraint than you may imagine. What defines a haiku is that it is the experience, pure and simple. The writer's feelings or opinions should not permeate the text, for there is no room for them, neither in the word count nor the form itself. Here's a famous haiku for you to consider.
A recent study has shown that robots perform well as language teachers. Robots are machines that look like humans. They usually have a face, arms, and legs. Because they are patient, children seem to enjoy learning with these machines. The robots will repeat the same words or tasks again and again. However, it is unclear whether robots can replace all roles a teacher has in the classroom.
While we have explored space and sent people to the moon, one area that remains a bit of a mystery is our own brain. In particular, the different processes and operations our brains perform every day. Recent research has tried to show a link between physics and decision-making, and now a model using quantum physics to explain how we decide between two or more options has been published.
Today, the Sahara is one of the Earth's largest deserts. However, 10,000 years ago, the climate was very different. The air was not as dry as it is today, and there were several large ponds and lakes. One of these was located near a cave, which was therefore an ideal home for early humans. Fish from these lakes was used as food by the people who lived there. We know this because a large quantity of fish bones was found at the site.